everybody.
Look at
Along with
this.
Allison Ratzlaff and Ben Fletcher, it's Costa, and welcome back to the Bam Slam podcast.
Looks a little different now. You can see us.
It looks so different, and it is so much better. And we're going to get into what everybody has been doing since we took our little hiatus. But Ben, Allison, what's going on? Can you believe we're back here, Allie? We're finally back.
I cannot. And I'm so thankful Ben made this all technology part of it work.
You can see us. We're actually live.
We just had to plug in our mic and show up.
This is awesome. Genuinely, I did miss talking with you both in terms of a microphone profession. We've been texting. We've been following each other's Instagrams and whatnot and making sure we knew everything that was going on in Ben Ratzlaff's life. But it is really good to start talking to you guys and doing a show again together.
You have a man crush on him.
Have you seen that kid's biceps? How are they looking these days? I haven't seen them in a while.
They look good. But I'm his mother. So that's weird. But we saw each other at lunch, all of us. So that was fun.
And Costa, who else did we see at lunch?
We text a lot.
We do. Well, it's funny you mentioned who the three of us saw at lunch, and that's Ian, the great man who owns McGregor's Ale House down there on San Diego Mission Road. And I had talked to him a while ago while the three of us were doing the original Bam Slam podcast, although it really hasn't changed. It's still the three of us, although it does look a lot different. But I always said, listen, the three of us love this place. And we're in here a lot, Ben especially. And if we ever get the podcast back together, would you be interested in coming on board? I said, yeah, send me the information. So we sent the information, and Ian's super busy. Everyone is super busy as they're still kind of coming out of COVID. But I showed you the email, I forwarded it to you, and it was short, sweet, to the point. Sounds great, I'm in. Cheers, Ian. That was it.
So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff with McGregor's. We'll have some drink specials that you can take advantage of. We'll do some live broadcasts there. And honestly, that is probably my favorite place in all of San Diego. And I'm not bull crapping. Oh, wait, we can curse on here. I'm not bullshitting. Because it's right down the street from my apartment. Kendall and I go there all the time. Every time people come into town, that's where I go, because you see the pictures of Phillip Rivers on the wall. Tony Gwynn's jersey's in there. Just an awesome, awesome spot. Hey, guys, I don't want to really toot our own horn, but check this out.
What?
From Steven, LFG, little flamer.
Aww.
Steven, thank you, buddy. And thanks to everyone that is tuning in right now. And before I go any further, Ben Fletcher set this whole thing up. This video feed, the streaming, the whole 9 yards, along with his regular duties as co-host of the morning show at 760 Sports. But Ben, thank you again so much, because we were all over here at my house yesterday trying to get the computer synced and all this stuff. And Allie, she does everything great, but I'm the big idiot in the corner saying, okay, how do I do this? Type of thing. So Ben, if we didn't have you, and obviously Allison, if we didn't have you, we wouldn't be doing this.
I mean, it's Ben. It's all Ben. Let's be real.
So
he said, plug this in here, turn this on.
Right.
Press this link.
Man. Yeah, you can do this. What is it? Is it MySpace?
Napster, actually.
Yeah. All right, Ben. So quickly, everyone's going to give the Cliff Notes version of what they've been up to since and the reason, I will say this, the reason that we stopped doing the podcast is that everyone just got insanely busy, and literally trying to get us together for 45 minutes or an hour, it was almost a near impossibility. And so that's what happened. We didn't have a breakup. There was no Yoko Ono, none of that shit. We just got really, really super busy. So Ben, quickly.
I don't know. Costa was flirting with my wife quite a bit. So,
and that's still going on. But I'm much more quiet.
We're a little more comfortable with it. But my life has been fantastic. We launched San Diego Sports 760, which honestly, Costa, without you, that doesn't happen. And all the years you did on the radio with iHeart.
You're welcome.
Yeah. and it's unfortunate that you're not a part of it. I really feel terrible about that. But it's Big Rich, TDM Fletch, it's Rich Ornberger, Travis Dale, and myself. And we are the biggest 3 idiots on the planet with what we do, but we're having a lot of fun doing it. If you haven't checked it out, AM 760. Kendall and I are almost a year into marriage now, March 25th.
Oh my
I
God,
can't
is
believe
it
it's
a year?
Which
Yeah,
is
I can't believe
nuts.
it.
Yeah, and she's
Crazy.
in the other room right now, but it's been great. Life has been really good, and ultimately just miss you too.
That's really sweet.
Crazy. It's been a year since we had that party for you guys.
I
I
know.
just can't believe that.
A
So
year?
fast. Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny is
And
that
she still kind of likes me. I don't get it.
that is that. Well,
Aw,
you're
I
doing
get it.
something well. Remember, happy life, happy wife.
Other way around.
Happy wife, happy life. I don't know. Mine's out of town till Saturday, so
So she's happy.
yeah. So I'm dealing with this. This is her love, Shirley. And when I say her love, if Shirley and I were in the boat with Meg and whatever, and she had to choose one, this dog would stay in the boat, and I would be the one that was jumping out of it. I don't know why I brought Shirley up to show you guys, but
It's okay.
Thank you. I'm having one of those senior moments. No, I was going to ask Allison, what you've been doing, Allie?
I guess kind of a lot of work and a lot of recovery. I got really sick in July, and that was when I think our last show was in July.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks later, I was in the hospital. So I got really sick, but everything's good now. They've got it treated, and I'm much, much better. And that was a long haul, but working, mom stuff.
So not to
Traveling, doing a lot of
sound-
traveling still, whenever I can, which just makes this kind of fun because we can do this wherever we are now. We don't have to say, we don't have to take, I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks or whatever. So that's kind of fun.
We are committing to at least 2 of these a week, and that'll be awesome. Allie, not to sound rude, but I don't think it would be this show if I didn't. Are we allowed to make fun of the weeks you were in the hospital yet? Has enough time passed?
What happened?
Not make fun of it. Like, it was very serious, and Costa and I were both very
You can
scared
make
and
fun of
nervous.
what you
during the
know
time.
how I am. You know my sense of humor. You can
Right,
make
in
I'd
the first
rather you
section-
make fun of it than
Okay,
anything else, right?
It honestly, this
But
moment
why
is just
did I
so
say?
funny in
Was
my
I
head.
delirious? Did I
No,
say?
the very first text you sent us was, "I'm in the hospital," and Costa and I were like, "Oh shit, what is happening?" And then the
Yeah.
next one was, "I look like a Oompa Loompa."
I did. I was I was not looking myself.
And
I'll
I
just
think
say
that was the moment where we were both like, "Oh, well, she's okay."
I was scaring myself. I would look. I'd go into the bathroom in my room. I was like, "What is happening?" It was very scary, but I did have
No,
gorgeous. I had the most gorgeous room. The hospital looked out literally over the Torrey Pines golf course and the ocean, and
Right.
hang gliders, and I mean, I literally had a full ocean view. It was like being at a spa. So that part was cool.
Well, remember the one time early on when you FaceTimed us and you couldn't stop farting, and we were like,
Would
"Whoa,
you stop?
how sick is she?
Why does he
Holy
make-
moly!"
Don't
It
make
was-
shit up,
it-
Costa.
No, in all seriousness, they were still. I mean, the rules were pretty strict about going into a hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
COVID rules were still really strict. You couldn't.
Right.
It was like one person a day, and it had to be this. If that person could leave and come back, but that person
Yeah.
couldn't leave, and then a different person come. It was still. It had to be like the same person. I don't know. It was very, very strict. So, so one day my boys came, and so one came up and got me, and he literally kind of snuck me out. I threw on my tennis shoes with my hospital gown, and I went down to the courtyard of the hospital and met the other boys, and we took. They
Were
took
you
me on a
supposed to
little
do
walk.
that?
I don't know. I came back and they were sort of like, "Where'd you go?"
The
Like,
bathroom?
I thought I could go. Sorry.
I was just cold. I was just cold.
Yeah, drug my IV with me and off I went. But yeah, that hospital's great. Scripps Green, can't say enough great things about the people there.
No,
Nurses,
it was
doctors, amazing.
it was scary, but I mean, obviously, everything worked out for the best, and your health was paramount. So if we could do a podcast or not, God, who gave a crap as long as
Yeah.
you were okay. It's gotten so busy for me. I think I was doing Sully's show, the Big Biz show from Loft 100 Studios when we were still podcasting together, and I was still doing the Vegas thing. Although the Vegas thing has gotten very, very busy to the point where I'm traveling every other week, and there's a lot more time that's being dedicated to it. It's fun, it's awesome, but there's just a lot more travel, and I'm lucky to be working and making a paycheck. This past fall, I did Aztec Sidelines again. It's Snapdragon, and it was great to be involved with Ben and John and Jim Russell and obviously Rich Ornberger and Ted Leitner. And life is
How
good.
badass is that stadium?
There's another great thing about McGregor's. It's like 5 steps away from Snapdragon.
Dude, we've done that walk a bunch.
Did you work the first game when it was like 1,000,000 degrees? I don't remember if I talked to you about it.
I did.
It was, yeah.
And it was 1,000,000 degrees.
It was insane. But I've been in Tempe for early season Arizona State games, and the thing is, you just drink a ton of water. And the people in San Diego who were the ones who are freaking out right now about the rain or that the snow is coming down to some lower elevation, like El Cajon, are the same ones who are like, oh my God, it's the apocalypse. I've never felt it this hot. And it's like, hey, idiot.
That's me. I'm
it's
the weather nerd. I love it. It's so fun to have. It's fun because it's always so the same here. So I think when we get something that's different, it is like, oh my God, it's been raining for 6 days.
Right.
It's 45 degrees.
We're just not prepared for it in San Diego.
Yeah.
At both extremes. Really,
Right.
a lot of wind and rain or a lot of heat. And
I'll tell you what I'm really pumped about is some of the shows they have coming to Snapdragon, because like you said, McGregor's is right here. Well, Kendall and I can walk. We've done the walk to Snapdragon 1,000,000 times. That's what we would do during COVID. We would walk around the construction site.
yeah.
And so Guns N' Roses coming up in like October, Coldplay,
Yeah.
we're going to all of them.
Coldplay's coming. I think in September, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that the what's his name?
You're doing great.
Cheeseburger Paradise.
Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett. God, sorry. I kept on
Yeah,
wanting
it's
to say
rescheduled. I don't know when it's going to happen, but
finally
it
got
is rescheduled. And then
Pink
Red
is
Hot Chili
coming.
Peppers also.
Yeah, so it's going to be there's going to be a lot of big names, and it's the perfect venue. And being right down the road is McGregor's right there at the corner of San Diego Mission Road. And what street are you on, Ben?
It's Mission Road and Rancho Mission Road is mine.
Rancho Mission Road in San
and
Diego
then what's
Mission Road.
Mission Road? Yeah, that's the other
Yeah,
one.
right there. McGregor's is right there. So to Ian and everybody at McGregor's, thank you so much. And as Ali said, we're going to have live events there. We're going to have live podcast tapings, food specials, drink specials. We even have swag and gifts to
probably
to
going to
give-
be some sort of event where if you can beat Pop, aka Costa and Pool, you're going to get something.
which is pretty easy to do.
In fact, I'll put it
Self-report.
up right now. I'll buy your beer if you beat Costa and Pool.
There you go. Challenge accepted. So obviously a lot's been going on since the three of us stopped talking in a podcast format. But the big news here in San Diego is Padres are in Peoria. Spring training is going on, and we certainly know.
Mania.
Yeah, and we certainly know that there is one Padre who's going to be here until 30-34, I want to say, is the length of Manny Machado's contract. Allison,
All of
I
them,
know
by
how
the way.
much-
Like
Yeah,
Fernando
Tatis.
is tied up till 34. Manny's 34. Musgrove, I think it's 34 also.
Amazing.
Bogarts is 34.
Oh my God. And Allison, we know how you feel about Manny. V attractive is the term that is always used when we talk about Mr. Machado.
Yeah.
But and what you think when because it was being talked about, Manny's going to opt out, which is shrewd business on his part. That's
Totally.
just,
Yeah.
everybody does it in baseball.
I think people didn't. Most people know what that means about opt out, but there are some people who don't realize that doesn't mean he's leaving. It just means he was opting out of the current contract, and the negotiations started. And honestly, I think the negotiations were going on from the minute he said that, or since before he said that. I don't think he
Right.
ever was really going to leave here. They seem to love it here. He and his wife, they're building a house or have built a house in Coronado. They do a lot in the community that a lot of people don't even realize they do. They're pretty quiet about a lot of it. And, you know, it's so like since he's been here, I mean, there hasn't been a, scandal or there's just nothing bad surrounding the guy. He's always got a big smile. He's happy to be here. He loves the fans. I think he and Peter Seidler have a very loyal and close relationship. I think Peter Seidler told Manny from the beginning, we will do this, 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 and this. And he's
Yeah.
done it. And he's done it. And so Manny, he's done everything that he said he would do. And so I think Manny feels a great sense of loyalty to the Seidlers. And I think, I don't know, I just get tired of people around the country who haven't seen him since he was, I don't know what team with the
Orioles,
the
Dodgers.
Orioles and yes, especially the Orioles because he was so young.
He was so young to that point, and he's hated universally by all these people all these people. Excuse me.
But I can't even figure out why. Like he tripped somebody, or supposedly, and when he was a Dodger, I don't know. And there may have been some things.
That was like his last. That was his last incident.
Yeah, I do. Right. He earned that reputation before getting to San Diego. What I will say, since he's been in San Diego, he's been the perfect captain. He's been everything you would want out of a $300 million player.
Right. And he got here when he was 26. Yeah. So we're talking about things he did when he was 23, 24. A lot of kids are assholes when they're 23 and 24, especially when they've been told for years and years and years that they're the greatest and they're making a ton of money. And, a lot of them act that way. I don't know. He's been nothing but a leader on and off the field. And I think a really great example of that was when he yelled at Tatis in the dugout. And a lot of people say, oh, well, why did he do that? He humiliated him and stuff. When he yelled at him in the dugout that time and said, it's not about you. And you know what? Everything that's happened since, because with Tatis, we now know he was right in what he was saying to him. And he was already seeing what was coming. It's almost like he knew that he was going to break his wrist and all that other stuff. But I think he knew that maybe he saw himself in Tatis when he was that age.
You're exactly right. I think totally that Manny wishes someone told him that when he was Tatis's age, because they were on the same sort of career path. And I think that it's only going to be helpful for Tatis. What I will say is the words opt out together are scary. And it's scary for a fan base when you hear that, because opt out insinuates leaving. Opt out means a million things. One of those things is leaving. Most likely he's trying to get a new contract with the Padres. By the way, he's earned a new contract with the Padres, and Peter Seidler has said that over and over again. What's more impressive is that Peter Seidler one day says, Manny's my top priority. 2 days later, Manny signed.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's just ridiculous. 11 owner does that.
11 years, $350 million, $45 million in a signing bonus. Obviously, all of it guaranteed. No, Peter Seidler, to me, and I said this yesterday with our good buddy Dave Pele and Sully on the Big Biz show, he's already statue worthy, because if it put Dean Spanos, we've got a great NFL story coming up later.
Costa, I haven't heard it in too long. Can you give me a suck it, Dean?
Suck it, Dean.
Thank you. We needed that.
Do you guys think he has to see this? He's just a human being, right? He has to see this.
Who, Deanie Weenie? He's a Martian.
But I mean, it's got to cross his mind when he sees this and think what could have been. He has to.
Yeah. I think you're right, Allie, because it could have been this.
You mean he's only human? Like,
fans have shown that they will show up for a team who's willing to show up for them, and it's really cool to see.
If this was Dean Spanos, and I realize there's a salary cap in the National Football League and things like that, but
there's one in baseball too. They just keep blowing through it.
Right. Do you think for a second Dean Spanos would have done what Peter Seidler has done in such a short period of time to endear himself not only to your fan base, but to the guys in the locker room? Think about all the organizations in professional sports where guys walk in, it's like, F that, where's the owner? F that guy. And it
There
happens.
isn't an owner in sports like Peter Seidler. I just truly believe that in any sport, and that's my whole point. Like, we had the fans, we, yes, needed a new stadium desperately. I understand all that. We don't need to rehash it, but Dean was he was so elusive. He never wanted to ingratiate himself here or be really a true part of the community and be
He was
that
afraid
owner.
of his own shadow.
Yeah. I mean, if he had just stuck it out and worked through it and found a way to get the stadium deal done here, and had made himself a, a man, who's just a favorite among his players, his staff, his fans.
A man of the people.
Yeah, Peter Seidler. I mean, what an incredible human being he is.
Well,
I
there's
love
two
it.
types of billionaires in this world, right? There's the billionaire who just wants to win, Peter, and there's the billionaire who is clutching on to his last pennies. That'd be Dean. But do you guys notice anything about me?
You've got
Yeah,
the
okay.
Seidler stash.
That is for Seidler.
Oh, is that a thing? The Seidler stash?
We're making it a thing. I think Rich and I are the only two who are doing it, but you should start. Allie, you too.
I'm gonna get a press on one to wear the next
Yeah.
episode.
Just make sure you hashtag it.
Um,
I'm not
but,
going to say.
a lot of the God, please don't. If you're telling yourself you're not going to say it, then you really shouldn't say it.
Brazilian. Anyhow, no.
God, he couldn't hold himself back.
There's the Seidler stash and the Seidler strip. Okay.
Oh,
I'm just
God.
saying.
Lewis.
Anyhow, I'm sorry.
Go
God,
play
we're
with your
gonna get
dog.
Kicked off YouTube.
Well, it was a great first episode, guys.
You're now banned.
But Allison, you're right. He's put his money where his mouth is. I think he has spent money for the most part wisely. And I was one of the first when Tatis came down with the ringworm that I said launch his ass into the sun. And I think a lot of people are of that same mindset, especially with Shohei Ohtani out there. But Seidler, there's a reason he is where he is. There's a reason I am where I am, and he kept his wits about him. And do we all agree if Tatis is 100% healthy and kind of sticks to the program, and I do think
he is.
Yeah, and I do think the organization has him over the barrel a little bit. It's like, okay, you F up one more
yeah.
time, you are going to travel to the sun.
And by the way, every team in Major League Baseball would love to have Tatis currently on this contract. Because even though, it is an extremely team-friendly deal to have a superstar of his potential. Now, he needs to hit that potential.
Yep.
And I'm saying it needs to be a 30 home run year or adjust that for however many games he's actually going to play. But more than anything, don't you just want to see him if he's eligible for 140 or 138 this year? He's able to play 100 of them. That's what I want. That should be the goal. Play 100 of them.
Well, to show, Allie, my thought is prove to yourself that you're worth all of this.
Yeah.
And that, you can get past this little bump that you don't want to become a mountain.
I think he will. I mean, seeing him participate with Joe Musgrove in the swimming, the diving thing that they were doing together all off season, and I think with Manny's leadership and Bogart's leadership, evidently he's a huge leader in the clubhouse from everything I'm hearing. And I also thought it was funny when Manny said in his press conference yesterday, Soto next.
Yeah.
Like he's.
Did you see Soto's reaction?
I didn't see his reaction.
So Darnay Trip with NBC7 had the picture. Juan Soto's sitting. He was in the press conference. A lot of the Padres
I knew
were.
he was there.
And he's sitting in the back like this.
Yeah, well, Juan, and
yes, please.
I know you're watching this in Peoria. You got to play a little bit better this season if we're going to talk about a big contract.
Well, I think he'll turn it on like he was doing in the playoffs last year.
Dude, I'm telling you, even with him not playing well, if he were to sign a contract right now, $500 million.
Yeah. I mean, he probably won't until, he has 2 more years. So I can't see anything happening until next year at the earliest.
I know you make that face, but that's what it would be.
I realize Soto's only 24. He looks like he's 33.
Yeah, he does.
But he's still a young pup. And
think about the contract Manny just signed, 11 years, $350.
Yeah.
But now imagine that you're getting within whatever contract Soto signs. If, by the way, if he's not with the Padres, it's probably going to be a 4-year deal somewhere, and that's a very likely possibility.
Right.
But if it is one of these long-term super deals that we're seeing, like you're talking annual average salary or average annual value of well over 40 million a year.
I'm curious what you guys think about the whole, small market. Oh, and
Bullshit.
MLB is putting together this review committee. Like, how are the Padres doing this?
Here, Costa,
I
let me
don't,
jump in.
I don't think that you can have. I don't think that you can. I think small market is irrelevant. Market, big market, small market. I think it's irrelevant now. I think they all have the money. It's whether they want to spend it or line their own pockets.
Do you know why it's irrelevant? Because they're all billionaires with
exactly.
a B. That means they have. This is literally Peter Seidler. As much credit as we give him for spending all this money, it's not a ton of money to him. And by the way, he's raking in a bunch of it back every time San Diego or Petco Park gets completely filled up.
Yeah.
So this is about winning a championship, and Peter's the only one with who he's just okay with not making quite as much as the rest of them. They're all making money.
I really am not going to curse a lot in this new iteration of the Bam Slam podcast, but Rob Manfred and all those other owners that are, suddenly have the magnifying glass out and they're
The aptly named Dick Monfort or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I will put it delicately. I'm not going to be a jerk, but eat shit, okay?
Yeah.
Because
all right, this will be the Instagram promo. 26 minutes in, Costa says eat shit to every MLB owner.
What do you want? Do you want it to always be the Mets and the Yankees, the Braves and the Dodgers, or do you want to grow your sport? You want to do things where you get, your different teams and everybody. Do you want parity in Major League Baseball? And that's, hey, I think Peter Seidler's like, yeah, F you guys. I got the money. We're going to spend it. Too bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And all these people.
All right, our number one fan, Steven, here says Padres opening day should be a citywide holiday. I agree.
Hell yes.
I know where I'm going to be for opening day.
Are you going to go?
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay.
You kidding me? Opening day press box nachos? Come on now.
That's true. Allie, are you going to go?
That's true. Yes.
I'm not
and
sure.
I'm going and Friday and yeah, I'll be there a lot.
It's March 30th against the Rockies, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. I want to be there just to see Eric Hosmer run out on the. Oh, never mind.
Dude.
You know who I do feel bad for, and I feel bad that he's missing it all. And I'm obsessed with his wife. I just love her. Is Maggie and Will Myers. I love them.
Will is not gone. All right, Will is still right here because Costa is still going to do the Will watching report every single week.
Maybe we'll get him back at the trade deadline or something. I
don't
know where he'd play, but
more than Will Myers, you know who I miss?
The cutest. She's so cute. She loves it here so much. And I know people that went and saw that, or I don't know them. I know of people that went and saw them at their spring training game, and Maggie cried when she saw them come over. So
you know who I miss more than Will Myers?
Who?
LFGSD, Jorge Alfaro.
I know.
He hit a freaking mash in his first spring training game this year. And then did you see Josh Bell's home run that went over 2 ballparks yesterday?
Really?
Yeah.
I was never a big Alfaro fan.
Why? The dude was a backup catcher and had 5 walk-offs last year.
It's for no reason. I mean, I'm glad he helped the team, but I wasn't like, oh my God.
I thought his hair was a little extra.
I mean, come on, look at it. No, I love Josh Bell. To me, Josh Bell. See, I want guys who, when
I like Josh Bell too.
When push comes to shove, you want a badass coming out of your dugout. That's like
Jorge
okay,
Alfaro.
You want to dance? I'll pay the band.
Jorge Alfaro.
Josh Bell was that guy. No,
Jorge Alfaro was literally Aquaman.
He'd be like, "Oh, don't punch my hair." No,
dude, no, he could get down and scrap.
All right. I miss Will Myers so much. I do.
I think he had the
playoff game when he took all the fans followed him to all those bars around in the gas lamp. And he paid for all of them. He was behind the bar making drinks, and I mean, it was just so fun to see him.
But it would
have that great experience.
If he came back, how awkward would that have been?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
oh, remember
that's
when you
fair.
all said goodbye to me and gave me a curtain call as I was walking off the field for the last time? I'm back and I'm hitting 115 again.
You're right, and I wish him the best in as a Cincinnati Red. I do, but I am going to miss him.
We'll do the
Will
Will
Meyer,
watching report.
You know who looks like they're
Okay.
hitting really well is Grish. He's
Yeah, he
hitting
is.
well. Like, and he
Yeah.
looks different. I feel like I was watching a little bit of that the other day, and he's looks like he's doing something different. The way he's
It's the
standing,
mustache.
and he's been read. He was I think was it Bogarts that was working with him? Somebody was working with him.
No, it was Carpenter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Carpenter. Yep, Matt Carpenter. Yep. So
It's the mustache.
Hey, what's this? Should we be concerned about the Musgrove toe injury? I mean, when you drop a kettlebell in your toe,
you guys, I dropped a plate on my big toe at the gym not long after I got out of the hospital.
A plate is 45 pounds. I know you don't really mess with that stuff.
I had a 45-pound plate that I was
they
lifting
make them
from
that small.
I was moving it from the rack to the bar, and it just came. I was holding it, just came right on my hand, dropped right on my big toe. I have never in my life. It was like it sent like shockwaves through my whole body. It was insane how bad it hurt, and it's still to this day is like if I guess it's pretty much fine now, but it took a long time for it to feel better. But I'm
Well,
sure
that's
he's
the-
getting far better treatment than I did,
Yeah.
which was none. I had none.
That's the,
So,
that's the thing. You can't really cast a toe per se.
No.
yeah,
You just gotta wait.
And stuff, but
but it hurts
just-
like a
it's-
mother. Oh,
again, it just always takes me back to why can't we have nice things?
Yeah, I
You know,
know.
why did we have all this great spring training momentum, and then Joe drops a kettlebell on his toe. I'm
Do you think-
excited.
how much will he miss? What do you think? What do you guys think?
What I
said a
saw
minimum-
last night, it was like 3 weeks of the regular season, like
Yeah.
max. But I don't think they're gonna rush him. They don't have a need to rush him back.
Right.
Right. It's not like, we really need Joe to get those innings in spring training to see what we have in him.
Right. And what you don't want him to do
Yeah.
is push off too hard on that foot and
Right.
strain his arm or elbow or shoulder
Right.
in the process.
Yeah, he'll be fine. I think they'll probably do similar things like what they're doing with Tatis now, where Tatis is not playing every day during spring training because they don't want him to rush anything with the surgically repaired shoulder and 2-time wrist. So I think they're trying to slow play him. Also, Casa loves Tatis so much. Before we get out, because we got like 5 minutes left here, we did need to pick up right where we left off and make fun of the Chargers a little more. Allie, what do you got?
Okay, so the the Football Players Association, they did a thing where they were grading. You guys are gonna kill me because I don't have it in front of me. Anyway, sorry, I lost it. But they were grading all 32 team NFL teams on like 1,300 players vote, put in these grades on these different things, like how their families are treated, how their facility, their locker room is like, the food that they get, the training staff, the training room. And so anyway, the Chargers overall grade was a D-. Sorry, I had all the grades in front of me for every team, and the Dallas Cowboys were an A+.
Costa, give
They
it
were
to me one time.
first.
Costa,
They
I
were
gotta
first.
hear it. Give it to me.
Suck it, Dean.
Yes.
And what was funny was that the Chiefs came in 28th, which I thought was interesting because they, won the Super Bowl. You would think they would
Yeah.
be great about all that stuff. So
So I
anyway.
wonder if it's like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce get treated like kings, and then everyone else gets treated like shit.
Yeah, there's
That's
two different,
Yeah, I
probably what it
know.
is. Yeah,
two
it's
different
like,
facilities than
wasn't that the
Kansas
story
City.
about Barry Bonds when he would go on the road? He would have his own whole area.
Oh yeah. That's why he's so beloved by his former teammates. But it's so great to hear for the Spanos family, a D- overall.
Here, I'll
That-
tell you, I found it. They're here we go, Los Angeles Chargers, D-. They got an F in nutrition.
They wonder why they're always hurt.
They got well, people could look this up. Go to NFLPA.com and you can read the whole thing about all the different grades they all got. But yeah, they did really bad.
All right, listen.
The best thing, it's not even a surprise from the amount
No,
of
it's not.
former Chargers we know and
No.
interact with. It's not a surprise at all.
We're not
Terrible.
shocked.
No.
Hey, listen, thanks again to Ian and everybody at McGregor's right there in San Diego Mission Road, steps away from Snapdragon, for coming on as the title sponsor of the Bam Slam podcast. As we said at the beginning of the show, we're going to be down there with live tapings. We're going to have parties. We're all going to get together and
we're gonna have guests on the podcast.
And we're actually going to have real live guests on the podcast. So to everybody,
we had some good guests when we were audio. We had Laura Oakman, we had Chris Myers from Fox Sports, we had David Barrett. So we've had who?
LA.
Oh yeah, Dave Palais.
Yeah.
So we've had some good people.
We'll definitely continue to up the guest list as well. But for everybody who tuned in tonight, everyone who is back on board with the Bam Slam podcast, we certainly appreciate you being part of our family. And last but not least, you brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces, what you do, what you've done for us.
It's been a while. I don't know if I can still do this. Bam Slam fam, we love ya.
Mwah!
We nailed it. Nice work, guys.
Bye.